And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. Let's get the game moving a little bit here. This one we're mostly going to be focusing on trying to improve the Empire. And I suppose maybe try to do something about the housing. I've got 300 unhoused humans. So I suppose I need to expand the human housing district a bit. Do I keep going east? I think I keep going east. Yeah, let's keep going east. So I'll put some more housing in. That might not help, because it depends on where the unhoused are more necessarily than just do I have housing. The other thing I can do, or the other thing I could do if I had more furniture and cut stone, is I could upgrade some of the houses. Interesting. So we have people living and working over here that aren't living in the houses over here, which implies to me that they are not Amivians. So I've got people who are trying to work in the Amivian neighborhood that are not Amivians. Although the primary Amivian jobs are working fine. Which tells me it's not Amivians having the issue. We have like 1 unhoused, 3 unhoused Amivians. Another question is, which services do I want to expand next? I do want to probably expand weapon making. So of my old small carpenters, I have 2 small regular furniture. 1, 2, 3 old small regular furniture. 1 making spears. Okay. So when that's done, oh, I suppose I can actually do more clothing making. I've got enough cloth production. But yeah, once that's done, I can disassemble all the old small ones. So we'll make one of the big, this one here, the one close to the army supply, spear maker, and we'll make the other one just a 3rd furniture maker because I just need more furniture apparently. A little bit of space here for a warehouse. Now we have more wood storage and a place to store more spears. With that, should be able to tear out the remaining carpenters over here, effectively freeing up more space in the old town. This is Old Town. If you haven't caught earlier portions of the run, there's the old 2 hunters. Here's one of the old warehouses where we're storing rations. And obviously, here's the throne. At one point, this was... One of the bits in here was actually a housing bit because it was overlapping. We're doing stuff over here. We were having brawls. So we tore it up, and we've always been redesigning the Old Town. Old Town's not well built up, I suppose. It worked when it was new. It's a bit old at this point. Suppose I could, this might actually be useful. Use for humans is get another laboratory going. Give me some more innovation to invest. Get humans moving in where the human housing is. Giving them more jobs. Oh, you should be pulling and fetching. Oops. So as I go down the laboratory over here as well. Well, I think when these are done, we'll go and destroy the smaller ones. So effectively 36 extra carpenters on making furniture. I think that should hopefully be enough that I can take the noble off. At this point, the noble's not boosting it by a lot because the noble's being divided over so much stuff. Yeah. The nobility bonus is already down to 0.65 because it's only an unpromoted noble. And let's pop out in the Empire. Have you had enough time to grow? Next size. No, not yet. Interesting. I might have to bring the troops over to keep order. We'll have the extra workforce. And then the question is, what's the next one do I want to do? I don't take in vegetables. Let's take in vegetables, or at least think about taking vegetables as well. How much storage do I have for mushrooms? Barely. Okay. I'm basically going to copy that to another place as well, but that's going to be one of our import depot warehouses for taxed vegetables and mushrooms. You're going to import veg, set to 0, so don't actually import any. And then obviously you're not going to be grain, it's going to be veg. Your import of mushrooms, I can find them. There they are. Now on the world map, you're going to be wanting to grow as a side effect because I'll start getting some mushrooms from you, or getting vegetables from you. Okay, so this place has actually perfect moisture. This is also a really good place to grow. Okay, taking size. Let's move the army out so I can get a better indication of how much I need to improve the loyalty thereby. Mostly Tilapia, okay, which I like the fight pit best. So we give it a fight pit. There's almost an argument to try to do swap the religion here. That's dropping it by 25%, but it's fast. Okay, we're just gonna replace you. Hopefully you end up as the right op type. Okay, so we got 60 extra workforce at that point. That is going to go into making wood, I suppose. 10 levels of wood production. So with that, that means I no longer need you to make 10 levels of wood production. Because that makes... Here we're making 1,777. And you... make 1 point... We're actually technically making 2. Ah, distance. So you want a road. There we go. Yeah, so that makes more wood than you do. That's the whole point, so you can stop making wood. Which technically means you no longer need the windmill, because that's what you were using the windmill for, was to boost your wood production at 25%. Turn you off. And then you can make mushrooms. Up to what we can afford to buy right now. Carpenters are done. You are the spears. I don't need the 4 little ones now. So let's do the smart remove to get rid of those. Allow more Dendorians to move in if they want to. That should significantly increase our spear production. Although one thing I do, or one thing I want to do, you're now a governor, not a furniture maker. So that dropped the furniture production. 9's low, but I can work with it. That probably just means I need to upskill using some innovation. Which, because I just put a new lab in, I have a lot of. Oh, which does bring up the concept. Do I want enough knowledge to do the improved laboratory? It's just metal, although I'd have to import the metal. Yeah, and this is still going to grow and go up to the next size. Size I can go small city to large city. Got the government points to do that, so that shouldn't be a problem. Go next size here as well. Okay, let's take the army out for the moment so I can check to see what I need. Keep the city happy. A lot. I need a lot to keep the city happy. Okay, can't quite do it with our existing workforce. I will be able to do it once I get more workforce from the city leveling up, so I can put the army back in to keep the place loyal for the meantime. Oh, that's good to see. We got health actually above 1. Yeah, that's the direction we want that moving. And then, yeah, I think I need to improve furniture production, which is this tab. Yeah, up here. Oh, I suppose that also boosts spear production at the same time, which is good to see. Innovation provides 34.5 workers worth of output. So that was all easy to do. Gonna hold off on going into tools. So we'll hold off for a moment. Yeah, that should provide a bunch more Yeah, definitely didn't need the noble if I was going to use the innovation, so that works out. I'm making 80 spears a day, so definitely can start distributing more spears to the garrison. Same note. I've got the first upgrade. Oh, I need mechanics for the second one, so that's actually really expensive. Hmm. 140, so I do actually want the human population to be a little higher. Didn't bring any new humans in. Bring a couple in. Okay, I'm going to temporarily go odd job or negative for a moment here. I'm going to up the training on over units. So these guys are already trained to 10%. If I go another one, that's another 7 days, I think, of training. Yeah. You raise the other one that's at no training to 10% training. So I'll take them 6 days and put us odd job or negative. Actually, it'll lower the guard potential because they're actually already on patrol, right? Yeah, it makes sense. And then I have more spears, so let's distribute more spears to the existing guard. I'll come off of patrol, go grab spears, go back on patrol. In the long run, that's going to improve guard power. Sure, it's probably actually reducing it, but... Under his ever-watchful eye, my dear Domenica, I've been instructed to convey this message from a certain Lilia the Merciless. So let's see how large Lilia's bandit gang is. 600 soldiers. So the field army wouldn't be able to handle them if they go raiding the countryside. If they come straight to the capital, the city guard might. But that's a really good way to lose the city guard, if I misestimate. Yeah, the city guard is actually fully armed. We'd handle this, so that means this is going to be one of the ones we actually pay off. I got the clay. It doesn't look like I have the clay because it's probably sitting on the throne room floor. I got the clay, got the fruit, got the money. I don't really want to pay this fruit, but I can work with it. There we go. So as soon as they're fully equipped with spears, which might not take very long, should be one of the more valuable components of the guard. they're fully deployed, fully with spears. Apparently 3 of them are currently training. Okay, make a decent number of spears, which is good to know. Maxed out bows. The Dorian Forest. Ooh, we've had this event in previous runs before. Estel contains a magical forest, which accounts for most for the wood production. Within its center, trees that are cut down can be found whole and alive the next day. After this was discovered, the woodcutters at Estel built mechanical contraptions that allow these trees to be felled and processed with minimal labor. Recently, faces have begun to appear on the bark of these trees. The Dorian faces. They appear disturbingly lifelike, but cautious examination reveals only wood beneath. This has attracted the attention of the Dorians in all of 6. While Estel is still not known for spawning many Dendorians, some are still hopeful to find information on the origin within the forest. They want to mount an expedition and dig deep beneath the forest soil, the most likely origin of the trees, and perhaps them as well. Refusing would turn every Dendorian against you. Accepting will disrupt the region for a while, leading to lower taxes in general, but you would receive denarii as compensation. We're going to allow the expedition. So, temporarily half output from the region. Hopefully we have enough wood stockpiled if that doesn't become a problem. Meantime, remember I've still got marketplaces to upgrade. Go, so that's all the marketplaces upgraded. Still has one more city size to get up to. You can get up to your second to last city size. Cool. You're already growing to the next city size. I can do anything to get there. Only thing I need to do here is improve the happiness. So once again, we're gonna improve the resting loyalty. So we're gonna take the army out of the region so I can see how bad it is. Okay. So the Amivians and only the Amivians need more happiness. That I think with improving the tavern. There we go. So I've got 60 free workforce here to make our vegetables with. Oh, and you could probably do with a little bit of a road. Go. The increased food variety, getting more mushrooms and vegetables in, should help with keeping health up, or at least having more food available to distribute. So I can do more food servings. Oh, the humans must be coming up on nearly fully trained at this point. You want to put another unit on active patrol. Actually, the guard power seems so low. Oh, because like 120 of our guards are out training is what's going on. Okay. As they come off of training, we're getting more guard value, obviously, is what's going on. Okay. Let's get you training up to the next level. Nope. Cured a lot of people in the hospital. Good to know. Again, that's going to lower guard power in the short term because they're going to go off and train rather than do active patrol. That's not even enough to keep the training facilities at max, so let's do another training level on you. Which puts that off 180. Yeah, so the odd jobbers are growing. Getting closer and closer to thinking about adding another unit to active duty. Oh, I guess the vegetable shipment has arrived. Wasn't very big if that was the case. Although I think the vegetables come in like harvest do. So it is harvest season, so this is when it would be delivered, I suppose. So it might just be that we've only had a couple days. Yeah, that's probably what happened. We only had it active for a couple days. So it should mean I'm getting mushrooms soon. Similar sort of logic. Pretty sure that affects the mushroom farm. Yep, 25% more productivity in the mushroom farm. So I've got 13 free workforce here, which isn't enough to get the next World Bank. Nothing else agricultural is interesting enough. Can't do the gem mine. Yep, so I think we're just going to leave that as is. And have that extra little bit of workforce become extra taxes. At some point we'll probably pick up the upgrade to either the Physician Guild or the Police Office, and it'll be upgrading those. And yeah, eventually you'll get big enough that we'll go up to the next level. Because it's trending there. It's just the unfulfilled population is mostly tilapia, so it's taking a while for them. And then we'll, using that workforce, probably pick up the windmill and more tax from the bank. Probably put walls in there. There's no walls at the moment. It's mostly protected. Well, there's not much exposure. It's only a 10% exposure. But it's also mostly protected because I got the army in the area. The walls would help. And then here, we're going to do more vegetables. Got the innovation to spend. Maybe we don't have the impotence to spend the, or the desire to spend the innovation. Could upgrade the weavers. That would get us more cloth. Without having to put more labor towards it. Do I just have the one weaver? So I just got the one weaver of 68. Workers working on it. So I'd have to upgrade the fiber tax, which wouldn't be that hard to do. And then I could use the more fabric for various things. I think I'm already distributing it as furniture, aren't I? Yes, we're already distributing it as furniture. So I could use it to get more clothing, so we can distribute more clothing to people. More heat resistance, more cold resistance. As well as a little bit more approval from that. Well, that's a question. Yeah, slaves. Slaves can have stone, the slaves can have wood. Let the slaves have fabric and clay. Oh, and fish. They can have fish as well. And not that the slaves need to be have good things. If I want to do more fabric, that can be used, or would be used probably to improve, not the administration, the embassy. 120 fabric would allow me to, what, double the diplomatic points coming out of, let's see. Let's put another unit on patrol. So that'll give us more guard power going out. Although apparently I need, unless this isn't updated right away, still need a lot more guard power to actually properly be a tyrannical ruler to the size of a city. We won't have enough spears for that, but I can collect them as they get paid. Yeah, and you're adequately happy. Oh, you don't have an adequate health. That's, before that becomes a severe problem, let's fix that. You have to fix. It's not a problem here yet. Okay, so we're in an awkward situation. This one's getting worse, but we made it better. Let's see how well it holds up. This one's actually growing, although growing furthest for the moment. It's probably going to hit the next target sooner than the other one. go up to the last tier. Oh, did they drop the... I think they dropped the Empire requirement. It used to be an Empire requirement for the Metropolis. I don't think it exists anymore. No, it doesn't. Ooh, interesting. Makes a smaller, taller Empire possible, I suppose. So the roads provide a local bonus and a realm bonus. Or at least they did. That's actually a good question. Do they still? Is it just local now? Ah, it looks like it's just local now. Okay, that's an interesting situation. Maybe distance from the neighbors matters? Not sure. By the way, that does give us a slight effective tax modifier. Yeah, so building that one road, 50% tax increase, so it's probably worth doing. If I'm actually taking any real tax out of it, I need to make the roads higher. Here we get to the follow-up from the event for the Nidorians, letting the Nidorians in for the expedition. The Nidorians found something. The Nidorian expedition, in Esteli, found something. According to her subjects, most of the Dundorians descended into the shaft they dug and did not return for a week. The few who eventually made it back to the surface were kept hidden in tents, but woodcutters would hear screams echo through the forest frequently until they stopped all at once. A day before the Nidorians announced their departure. The hunted-looking representative did not share much, but this is likely one of the many secrets that are better left unknown. The shaft they dug has been collapsed. Your woodcutters quickly resumed work in the center. The magical trees still continued to appear every morning, but your subjects noticed two changes. The magical area had increased in size, and new, unfamiliar faces joined the old ones on the bark. Boosted regions, 20% more wood production. This place is now cranking out. Oh, for some reason I am labor short here. Yes, and it's getting worse for whatever reason. Gotta turn something off. Turn the garrison off for the moment. Yeah, interestingly, it's getting... Oh, that's because it's the ratio of the workforce affects a species modifier and workforce efficiency. Not all the species provide the same workforce ratio, I think. In particular, the tilapia, which is the group that's growing, I don't think provide the same ratio. Yeah, it doesn't tell me which species is providing the modifier. But one of them has a region workforce modifier. Wonder, can I see... Can I see that? In the questions here for the pieces. That's immigration speed, that's not what we're looking for. Oh, that might pop itself out if we look at the difference between tilapia and humans, because I think humans are the tilapia the ones that getting us the lowered number. So you can see the surface needs aren't quite the same. The tilapia need to go to fighting pits more often. It's not going to be in service needs. It's not employment because it's workforce, which isn't the same. Although some of this does sneak into it. You have a city, for example, full of Garthimi. You get the 3x Garthimi on the regional employment as well. See, humans are more likely to become deranged, be less lawful. Nope, the thing I'm looking for, at least, isn't immediately apparent in here. Or at least if it is, I don't know where to look for it. Dirties are more likely to become, or half likely to become dirty relative to human. I have the natural birth rate of humans, interestingly enough. Yeah, the stat that I'm looking for, at least I can't see. Whether it's in there or not, I'm not aware. Ooh, uncomfortably close to exactly the loyalty we wanted at, which is 100%. Average happiness is starting to decline due to population growth. Waiting for you to grow. And you... I've actually hit the target I'm trying to get you to, so I'll take you there. Taking the army out of the area, okay. Yep, you got enough to get the irrigation and max out the veg. So we have the money to pick it up, and I do. Oh, we need a little bit more happiness, which I can get with the pub. There we go. So the region is happy. The region in theory is still growing, but should be able to leave the region alone. Some implications that the health might be getting worse. I might need to improve hygiene. Upgrade you. Yeah, okay, so that should do the health. The health. And the rest of this can go into, say, better banks. For income. Yep, I need most of my remaining government points to improve here. That's going to eat 100 government points, and I got 145. So, as much as we've got all this land out here to improve, I don't actually really have anything to govern the improved land if I were to do that. So I'm not going to get too carried away improving stuff over there. And then I finished up the mushrooms here, yeah. Mushrooms, the veg looks good. Got a lot of available workforce here. This would also be a good place for veg, if I wanted to move away from cotton farms. Oh, I was thinking about also improving fabric production right now, so I have enough to do the approved embassy. So I need about another 120 coming out of about 68 workers, so I need to make about, what, that's 2 more per worker. Work rate here is 2, so I need a additive add of 1 per worker. 1 and a bit would probably be the best way to do it, so... Yeah, additive add of another 1 per worker. Already got 1.5 in tech, okay. Surprisingly expensive, that one might not be worth doing. It might be time to get another. I need that. But in theory, that is enough. Okay. I need a little bit more fiber. Let's pop over here, grab the next fiber level. Yeah, 1 more level of fiber should be fine. And then that should be enough that I can come over to the embassy and say, you are allowed to use fabric. And then to facilitate the motion of that fabric over there, we're going to set up a holer. To go grab fabric. Raiding or border settlements? Okay. 15 rebels. Oh, they're actually classed as rebels. Okay. Okay, so the garrison, once we deal with the rebels, should be able to provide enough protection to the region. These places have like 1, 2, 3-ish riches. They're not very rich to start with, so it doesn't take much of a garrison to keep them stable and loyal. Glacial rate at which Talapi and Dendorian populations grow. Probably do the pastures. Let's expand here. Could do with more meat and leather. Actually, a bit low on food at the moment. Although I think we're coming up in harvest season, which is when we should receive our mushrooms and stuff. So I could smash the auto-resolve button, and I'd lose about as many as there as rebels. We're gonna fight this battle. Looking at the time, what we'll do is we'll fight this battle. I'll do a quick review of how the city's going, and we'll probably bring the stream to a close. This should be a fairly quick battle, all things considered. It's a small enemy group. I would not be surprised if they rout the moment they are encircled by our forces. There are the rebels. All 15 of them. Okay, we lost one guy. And the enemy breaks. There's 4 left, trying not to be in a straight-up fight with us. Here we go. 15 defeated for the cost of... better than the auto-resolve. We did 15 times better than the auto-resolve there. Nope, we'll take those 3 prisoners. Don't need perfect chivalry. trying to think of which of these regions I want to improve the most, because I've got enough to sort of max this one out, and then I got like 45 extra. Probably wants to go into improving one of these regions. Could get more fruit, although do I need more fruit? I probably don't need more fruit, seeing as I can improve the fruit here. A level 10 fruit there. Level 10 veg, level 10 mushrooms. So yeah, I don't really need the fruit, which, that's a decent fruit place, but it's not a great fruit place. That's it. Even this is a better fruit place. This would be the place I'd do next, or veg. Probably don't need either of those. That's probably you up on the frontier that actually wants to be the next one to be improved. 92% prospect for cattle. Yeah, so you're probably the best cattle location. Oh no, you're the best cattle location. So it actually probably wants to be you. I think it's improved. Unless you've got big moisture problems. 60% moisture. 62% moisture. 75. 89. Yeah, we'll do the math between streams here to figure out which of these four has the highest population multiplier. It doesn't make a very big difference, because really it's just working how many levels do I need to put into growth to hit the level I want to get to, right? So the higher the combined area times moisture, the less growth buildings I need to do, and the more I can put workforce towards either the thing I want to make or leaving idle to make money is a good way to think about it. Yeah, there's the odd situation where, like, well, do you do 10 levels in a place that's got a bonus to the resource, like going here, or 10 levels in a place where you don't? I would say that if you want the resource, put it wherever. Obviously, put it where you get the bonus if you've got an option between that and a different place. That's why we moved the woodcutting from here to over here, because we have a woodcutting bonus. Whereas over here has a bonus to mushrooms, so put the mushroom bonus where... If you got the sort of trade where you can sort of flip which goods being produced somewhere, put them where they work best. But don't pull your hair out over the workforce efficiency. Unlike in the city where you have to worry about feeding and all the service buildings to support them, the regions are much simpler. So idle workforce is growing, that's good to see. At some point I need to figure out how to sort housing a little bit better. So I've definitely got people who are working in places where there isn't local housing. If you're the bakery, just might be something to be moved. Same thing with the ration making. These are probably Quitonian-dominated industries, so they should probably go over here. And then maybe this gets turned into housing or something. Yeah, let's go over the city. City is going well. You can see we have plenty of all the basic resources. We have plenty of grain. On food serving 2 across all our social strata, primarily for health meeting health requirements. And there's an argument there that I should even go higher. Health is definitely, on this patch, a little harder than it was before because of the nerf, I think, to food servings and the change with the wear-axe exposure. Wear-axe exposure isn't that severe, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but it's really the nerf to food servings, I think, that's catching me here. Normally food servings used to go up to 4, I think. So with 2 food servings, I'd previously be at +1 health, or a 2x health multiplier, instead of a 1.33 multiplier. And that makes a big difference. That's the difference between being really healthy and not. So I think that's the change that's sort of hounding me right now. There's the food preference change, which is good. Definitely offsets the Verax one, so I'm not too worried about that. It's more of the food servings nerf that I think is catching me right now, which is why we're having health issues. As far as the Makeup City, we got the big human line in the middle. We have Kryptonians south and north to farm the rich soils. We got a Dundorian neighborhood over here, eventually to work on Sylvan ore, but also currently working carpentry, tailoring, and pottery. If anything, I don't have enough Dundorians. Could always use more Dundorians. We got Tlalopi down here, working a bunch of pastures. And across the river, we have the Amivians, working the fisheries, and Globedine pastures in the west. And everyone is happy enough once you account for the law enforcement effects. So that's definitely one place where we probably want to continue to expand, is improving our garrison's efficiency. Whether that be giving them more and better equipment, although apparently I'm starting to reach the point where I don't really have any more capacity to give them spears, because they've capped the... getting capped out on spears. So yeah, I suppose the next thing to do would be improve their actual armor. Raiding our border settlements. Oh, I guess you don't have a garrison, do you? So you're pretty exposed, with no army in there. Fair enough. Okay. So I gotta send the army over to deal with you. Just gotta work the long way around. In the meantime, we should put some garrison in there, so the less likely to be done again. And that is a pretty big exposure. Well, actually, no, that's a pretty low exposure because it's 0.2. Okay, so if there wasn't already a raiding group there, it would be protected from it. So we're gonna have one more battle before we bring this part to a close, because I'm gonna deal with these raiders, so future me does not have to remember to deal with them. The Dorians embark on a new quest. The Dorians have found a new lead on their mysterious origin. As usual, they plan to enter one or more of their cursed regions of 6. You do not know what manner of things block their ways, but surely formidable for the unguarded ruins were searched by them long ago. United in purpose, they either join the expedition directly or send money and supplies. Unless something goes catastrophically wrong, the whole business should not affect you directly, but since the best crafted 6 are now otherwise occupied, prices for goods are going to rise. Okay, so everything that the Dorians normally sort of in-game considered good at, I think I've just had their... Forget about that supply that's showing. Basically, the prices are going to go up on everything, because there's less supply in the global market. Okay, you're not going to auto-resolve here because we'd lose. Actually, no, we wouldn't lose. We'd lose a third of the army, which... we'll lose less than that if I manually command it. Can we mostly outnumber them? Oh, there's a batch of archers here. Okay. Although, this sort of deployment we dealt with before. So, main human line up front. 5 ranks deep. And these guys are actually going to run around and deal with the archers. So I'll keep them in loose formation for the moment. Okay, pausing. Okay, so we got 2 bands of melee. I thought it was 1 band of melee. See if the charge will have these guys splay out. One of them go deal with the archer. I want to go hit them in the rear. Already broke one of the melees. We're not getting away blood 3. We lost 4 units already in the fight. Engage those archers. Yeah, units decomposing. Okay. So this point is just the archers. I don't even have to order the charge. It's like, yeah, no, we're surrounded. Time to give up, guys. Okay, we lost 5, which is far better than the auto-resolve. And 118 enemy raiders dealt with. Okay, we'll capture those prisoners. And then, before the prisoners arrive, you guys all get to be enslaved. I was originally planning on trying to run it out of long enough to get this city up to the next size, but I think this is where we're going to call it. So, we got this city to improve 1 tier, and then I have 45 more government points to improve the regions out here. So, looks like I can do 3 of them 1 tier, or 1 of them 2 tiers. Or actually, technically I could do all 4 of them 1 tier, or I could do, misreading, workforce is 15, government points is 10. You'd probably be actually looking on the map there. Probably is better to do 4 one tier instead of one of them, or one of them 2 tiers. Because it's 50 versus 15 times 4. 15 times 4 is probably a little bit better. Probably the way to go about doing it. And most of them, I think, most of them will have the workforce, or the population to go to the next year anyway. So that might be what we end up doing in the next one. I'll make the decision between streams. I hope everyone has been enjoying watching this. We're at the position where I could make an alliance with these guys. Actually, no, we're a little bit short because it's gone down, although I could... play to kick that in, figure out if I have the money to sign the alliance now. So don't forget for next time. It's basically what I'm doing right now. There we go. So pause. Look at the diplomacy. So alliance. I don't quite have the money, although there's a decent possibility we get that. In fact, I could barter for that right now. We could give them some slaves, give them a smorgasbord of stuff. Yeah, give them some slaves and smorgasbord stuff. Not gonna do that. Could do that. Not gonna do that. So we get that alliance. Not that desperate for the alliance. And then the other one to improve relations with, I think, is this one. Because then that gives us safety moving between our capital down here and our territory to the west as far as traveling up and down the river. Narcola is maybe the other one to touch. For sort of similar logic, transitioning from this one city to the regions out in the west tends to go through Narcola. I'm not as worried about Narcola. But yeah, this is where we're at. Level-wise, we've got just over 5,000 people in the main city. Next target level is 6,000, so we just need another 1,000 in to get more innovation, more knowledge, and more importantly, more noble promotions, so I can have more large cities. And yeah, we've... Arguably, actually, the capital city right now is undersized in comparison to some of its subjects. It's already got 4 cities. I think it might even be 6 at this point. Ruling over 6 cities that are larger than it. 5 cities, because this one hasn't quite hit 5k yet. But yeah, we've basically got cities, ruling over cities that are larger than us. And they're shipping things like fruit home, fiber home, vegetables home, all the construction materials. Yeah. So the main thing I'm kind of lacking is I need more income. Which I suppose as we get the city bigger and get more taxes, that's the improvement there. So yeah, hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there will probably be another part of this up tomorrow, because we will be streaming it again in 4 days. Which brings me to Twitch. If you're watching this while it's live, the upcoming stream schedule for the next couple days is we're going to be doing Factorio tomorrow. The day after that, we'll be doing Stellaris. The day after that, we'll be doing Shadow Empire. And the day after that, we will be back to Songs of Six. So I hope you've all been enjoying. If you're watching on Twitch, this is the last call for comments before I bring the stream to a close. If you're watching later on the Twitch VOD or on YouTube, feel free to leave comments on YouTube. I am streaming this live to Twitch under the username willcall100 and uploading the local recordings to YouTube, or streaming it live on Twitch on the username willcall, and uploading the local recordings to YouTube under the username willcall100. So until next time, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.